What's up, guys? Welcome back to Let's Play Zoids vs. One! Alright, we've completed the story mode, and that was pretty quick, but that is to be expected for the first game in the series. It was a decent length between the two separate campaigns, and it was nice. Really, the only thing negative about it is the controls in this game. We're moving on to the tournament mode, which the tournament mode in this one is not factored in by which characters you pick. So there's only one tournament mode, and it is a mixture of all the different characters from throughout the various different series, which is mainly just going to be Chaotic Century, New Century Zero, and then the Saga series, Legacy, and the Versus game of the new characters. So essentially you just have those three separate series there. I'm showing off all the characters that are available. I'm going with Naomi as my primary, and I'm going with one of these random pilots as my secondary. I really like the way that Naomi and Lena are posed there. I think that's really cool. So the first battle here is going to be up against two Saber Tigers. One is Carl Schubaltz's, and the other is one of the guys from the Tigers team. So we start off with the same default Zoids that we did in Battle Legends Versus 2. And we start off with a little bit of money, so we could buy essentially anything we want. Typically in these games, I typically will buy a Command Wolf first thing, but I want to show off something a little bit different this time around. So obviously I'm selling off this Mulga and putting my partner on the Cannon Tortoise, because that's going to be a much more efficient support Zoid. So we're going to sell off that Mulga, and we're going to do something funny with the Command Wolf here. I'm going to create an Empire Command Wolf, which is pretty fitting for Naomi, considering she likes special red variants of her Zoid. So we're going to buy, instead of the dual sniper rifle or the long-range rifle, we're going to buy that beam gatling unit, the one that we've been using on the Red Horn and Dark Horn throughout the, and the Shadow Fox, I guess, as well, throughout the story mode of this game. Let's go ahead and change that. Interestingly enough, again, the default color for the Command Wolf for this game is blue, when it should be white, as we can see here. We're changing it to red with the green cockpit, which is the signature of the Gylos Empire. Although, again, the Gylos Empire does not use Command Wolves, even though Zoids Assault would have you say differently. Again, Zoids Assault, what a missed opportunity. I really wish that the enemy faction would have Attack Cats and you would have Command Wolves, because seeing Command Wolves fight each other just seems so counterproductive. Without any distinctive markings or anything like that. It's just like the same units attacking each other. Eventually you get, you know, one side has D-Bison, the other one has Dark Horns, things like that. And one side has Shield Ligers, the other has Saber Tigers, which is much more of like what we would expect. But again, the Command Wolves through the majority of the early game is really kind of awkward. So we have the Saber Tiger Schubalt Special here, which is it has a Gatling unit as well. It's a variant of the Great Saber, essentially, but it's not quite the Great Saber. It has a slightly different color scheme with the gold claws, and it has the Gatling unit instead of the Assault unit like the, what do you call it has. And we were defeated. That doesn't surprise me too much. We'll try that again, though. I actually left this death in on screen so I could talk about everything. So one thing you'll notice as well is that this game does not have the awesome battle transition animations as the future games do. When it loads up, it's just a still screen while it loads, and then the next fight that appears, you get a little growl and you see your opponents. There's no flashy animation with the characters passing by the screen and that music cue. So kind of underwhelming compared to the later games in the series. Also, if I didn't mention before, the green color with the health bar, the timer, and all the HUD interface that color is sort of unique to this game. It's a different green in Battle Legends, and then it's like a blue in Versus 3. So we're gonna try that one more time. I know I can beat these guys with the beam gatling unit. It's our only weapon right now, and we do not have boosters. But I would rather have this weapon to be able to deal enough damage to these guys. We will get a booster next. So I've got a couple other interesting ideas for Zoids I want to show off. So I'm going to try to be a little bit on the original side in terms of, you know, weapon combinations and Zoids that I pick. But again, the unfortunate side is I have to pick a winning combo. I can't just pick something completely off the wall and still win with it, because, you know, I'm not guaranteed to succeed with just whatever I want. looks like our beam Gatling unit is different from theirs because it fires a different type of projectile, and ours is more of like the Darkhorn style one, whereas theirs might be specific to the Saber Tiger. I'm not sure, but ours is pretty effective. I would probably say more effective because it has weapons firing from multiple points that deal varying degrees of damage and have varying causes and effects, whereas theirs just fires from the rotating Gatling barrels. Still really, really damn cool looking. Overall, not too bad. I don't think our ally got damaged at all. So if you guys are new to the series, I'll just go over it again. What factors into the amount of points you get at the end of each battle is your the health of your Zoid, the health of your partner's Zoid, and the total HP of the Zoids that you got a kill on during that fight. So if you have an ally with a large amount of health, I'm just going through the Zoids I want to buy. I want to buy the Gojulus Mark II, or I'm sorry, the Gojulus the Ogre, if I can. That would be really cool. 60,000 for that. That's not too bad. I'd rather have that than the Gojulus Giga, honestly, because the Gojulus Giga is cool and all, but it was popularized again in Zoids Fusers, and I really think the Gojulus the Ogre needs a little bit more love as a classic Zoid. Good old Zoidzilla. But, yeah, so that you get points based off of your remaining health, your partner's remaining health, and the kills that you got. So the better we stay alive and the better we keep our partner alive, the more points we'll get, which will go towards purchasing more goods and services. And another important call out there is that we're up against the Lightning Sykes here. I forgot what our other opponent was. We'll see it pretty soon here. This is, it's not Irvine's Lightning Sykes. We haven't fought Irvine yet. It's two Lightning Sykes. One is probably Irvine's, the other one is probably from the Tasker team, and their Lightning Sykes from New Century Zero. Yeah, either way, we're not really fazed by them. Honestly, just because of the way that they control in this game, the Saber Tigers were more threatening. What a shame, considering it's still one of my favorite Zoids of all time and one of the most efficient in this whole series. But basically, I want to get a... If you're wanting to buy and unlock all of the Zoids in this tournament mode, or in the game, as quickly as you can, one thing you could do is you can buy a expensive Zoid for your partner that has a high amount of health. And so, you know, let's say if you buy a Gojulus or something with like 3,500 health, then you'll be guaranteed that many points at the end of the fight. Whereas if you stick with that Wimpy Cannon Tortoise, only 1,200, that's the amount of points you can get maximum at the end. So it's a long-term investment, you know, cost up front, but it's an investment to increase your overall profitability. So we're up against two gun snipers here, Lena and Naomi, of course, the two lovely ladies with their cute poses in this game, which I don't know why they changed their poses in the later games. I kind of like the way they're posed in this game, in their portraits. But anyway, so we have the Gun Sniper Lena Special, which, as you can see, is the complete antithesis of what you think the Gun Sniper should be, which should be a long-range precision sniper Zoid, as the name would suggest, that needs to be fast and nimble and able to be innocuous and hide in plain sight and get out of the way if it needs to. Naomi's is closer to that. Naomi's is a little bit weaker, but it's faster, it has missiles, and as we saw in the anime, it's quite fierce and a very effective sniper. But Lena's is just like, I'm going to get all up in your face with my twin Gatling units and my my W2 unit and all this other stuff. So I actually have the HMM for Naomi's gun sniper, and I would love to be able to build it. But the unfortunate part is, well, not the unfortunate, I shouldn't say unfortunate, but it's actually a gift. It's a gift from my good friend Jeff, who's a loyal Zoids fan and a huge fan of Naomi, and I can't blame him for that. She is best girl after all. But he is getting the Naomi Gun Sniper HMM model kit. I'm giving that to him, and I'm keeping all the rest of them that I have. But what I will probably do is, if with his permission, I will probably do a video, a model kit video for the Gun Sniper when he's finished building it, just like I do for all the other Zoids model kits that I have. Okay, I think we're finally going to buy our next Zoid here. Let me see if I can find it. I want to buy a Saber Tiger and equip that with a dual sniper rifle. I know that seems a little cheap, but I'm looking forward to it. I want to take a look at this Snipe Master really quick. I don't want one of those. Let me see the Saber Tiger. In this fight, we're going up against Van and Fiona with their Blade Liger, and Irvine with his Command Wolf. So even though in the portraits there it showed the stock Zoids, Irvine will have his red and black Command Wolf with the long range rifle. And Van and Fiona, I'm not sure if this version is going to have attack boosters or not. It probably will. In the Chaotic Century tournament, we fought in Battle Legends. We fought Van and Fiona and their Blade Liger twice, once with attack boosters and once without. Obviously, we fought them without attack boosters first. But the attack boosters, thankfully, are not going to be all that threatening. So, dual sniper rifle is 15,000. Man, there's some needlessly expensive Zoids in here. That's the one thing, and you guys may be critical of me for abusing the dual sniper rifle, but it has no reason for it to be as powerful it is, for it to be as cheap as it is. The long range pulsar rifle, the thing that's on the Genosaur, is like 35,000. That's more than this entire Zoid cost. So I'm going to go with the Great Saber colors. Again, there are no other variations that I can buy for these Zoids right now, so I can't buy a Great Saber. I have to buy a stock Saber Tiger, and as far as I know, they're not in this game at all to buy. The only ones that are available are essentially stock. So that's fine, we can make do with that. So again, unfortunately, the only other thing is I only have the one weapon. I only have the... Well, I take it back. We have two weapons. We have the underbarrel shot cannon, but the default weapon on the Saber Tiger is not great. It's the same caliber, I guess, as the weapon that we have on top of the Shield Liger when we first used that. There really isn't a generic Shield Liger available in this game for some reason. That's very strange. Now, apparently, if you have a save file for this game on your memory card, you can get the, what do you call that thing? The Shield Liger DSJ, the black one with the giant AB cannons, the Mark II cannons. You can get that in Versus 2 or Battle Legends if you have a save file from Versus 1 on your Gamecube memory card. And the same thing continues on into Versus 3, where if you have one from Versus 2, you can get that as well. Now, I do not know if you have to have a... I don't know if it works in the English version of Battle Legends, but I will give it a try now that I've played this game. So now we're going to be up against a really tough fight here, which is going to be against the Psycho Genosaur and Reese, and then Raven with the Geno Breaker. So pretty... I guess I could say that's standard. We've seen that fight before. So we're going to be equipping a booster for this because obviously we need a booster. If I hadn't said so before about the difference between the shield and the booster, I used to, when I very first started playing Battle Legends, I used to use the shields all the time because I'm like, what good is the booster going to do me when I can deflect enemy projectiles and send enemies flying back at me? It's almost like an extra countermeasure against close quarters encounters because you can just deflect an enemy off of you and knock them down instantly. But the shield I find is actually very situational. Really, I find having better mobility and the ability to get away from enemy Zoids to get better range to line up my shots and is much more efficient. Not to mention the against bosses, the being able to do the strafing maneuvers around them with the boosters is pretty critical. So we almost took a few hits there from Reese's Psycho Genosaur, but didn't really work out too well in their favor. And then the Geno Breaker showed an embarrassing display of ineptitude there. The Psycho Genosaur as well, I have the model kit for that now. I'm looking forward to building that.